What's up, everybody? It's Gina Ifoe, the one and only African superstar. I know because of technical difficulties that there has been a delay in the unpopular opinion videos. So I actually want to do one live and give you guys an opportunity to comment alongside with this particular one. This particular one has to do with two current events. So I'm going to start with that. I want to also say big shout outs to the customers of the Afrikansuperstar.com. Please do head over to our website, check out some of our merchandise over there. Um, you know, you know the routine. www.theafricansuperstar.com. Big shout outs to those of you that have been supporting our music project. Last week we dropped our second music video, Ghana is Good for Me. It's here available on the channel to view. Also, big shout outs to those of you just supporting our channel at large, and all of our members only who are designated by the circle next to their name. What's up, Aphrodisiac Villas and Spas? That's one of our big supporters here. I appreciate seeing you. Big shout outs to all of you. Good morning, good afternoon. So I want to go ahead and jump into these two topics. I'm going to start with the beauty queen. Okay, so last week, a 30-year-old beauty queen in New York City jumped from the top of a building. There have been a lot of conspiracy theories that, there was foul play, that it was just unusual. The girl was at the top of her game. She had everything going for her. And so it didn't make any sense that she would commit suicide. And, the thing about this is, and I can definitely speak as being a person who is in the public eye, being a person who, is accomplished and traveled and attractive. People think that you don't have problems and or they don't really care about your problems because they think you're in a position to deal with your problems. In her case, she's a pageant queen. So she's been in beauty contests like her whole life, probably. She's a very attractive yet lady, people would look at her and think, wow, you're privileged. You're doing good for yourself. Even if she did express to people that maybe she was experiencing some type of emotional pain and stress or whatever it was, people would just brush it off because they don't really care about those that are stable. Those people's problems are really not, that's important to the general public. So when I actually heard the story, I actually believe that the young lady committed suicide. Something that was prolific to notice was that, she left all her belongings to her mother. Okay, so she prepared a letter for her mother, whatever that may be. Her parents, her family doesn't seem to be negating the reality that she committed suicide. Sometimes when these incidents happen, people's parents will come and say, well, it's just unusual. My child would not do that. My child was not in that kind of state. My child wasn't displaying these kind of things. The mother has also come out and said that her daughter had high functioning depression. Okay. It's something that people in the public eye deal with, because you have very little support, but a lot of people depending on you, and it's a tremendous pressure. And, the young lady was 30, beautiful, probably, made good money or had received great money for participating in the beauty pageant. She had no partner. She had no children. A lot of times people will look at their life and think, what else is there? I've done what so many other people are seeking to do, and I still don't have peace. I still don't have solace. I still don't have friends. I'm still not happy. And I think a lot of combination of these things, because these seem to be reoccurring things when it comes down to others in her position doing the same thing. It's never shocking to me when people in a high position do something like this because I can totally relate. I've even been at a point where I've experienced certain, thoughts and feelings like, what's the purpose? And I would say that to any of you that may be dealing with suicidal thoughts, the thing that I can most encourage you to do is give it some time. Give it some time because things can turn around, Things can turn around, and you shouldn't make such a final decision on that. So big shout outs to the family that's here. If you're in the room, make sure you like the stream and make sure that you let me know your presence so I can acknowledge you. So the second thing I want to talk about is Rihanna. Okay, Rihanna, ASAP, and Black women's relationship with poverty. Okay, so obviously also in the same week, Rihanna came out publicly sharing her baby bump with this very subpar rapper man called ASAP. And you know, Rihanna's looking bubbly, looking excited, and things like that. And I have to say, for Black women, a lot of Black women, unfortunately, have a relationship with poverty. When it comes down to creating a family, and when it comes down to becoming a mother and taking on the responsibility of a child, you really, really, really need to fully assess the person that you are doing that decision with. This guy is just, he has baby daddy written all over him, you know. A lot of people probably will be like, oh my God, Gina, you're just hating. But it's I mean, Rihanna has displayed this through several of her previous relationships, you know, and the question will be asked, she was just with a Saudi prince, okay? She was just with a billionaire. Why didn't he become the baby daddy? Well, first and foremost, culturally, a lot of cultures don't believe in having children out of wedlock for many, many reasons. And I actually think that it's good thinking, because that dynamic is so complicated when you don't even have an agreement with your partner, when you guys are not going into the journey of parenthood together, the journey of family together. Okay. 9 times out of 10, the Saudi prince family was not going to allow that man to have a serious relationship with Rihanna, to enter into marriage with her, and to have children with her. That's the hard truth that people don't want to face. It probably wasn't up to Rihanna whether or not she could go forward with the Saudi prince. Number two, you know, this guy, he's a nobody. You know, he's a nobody. He's really riding on the coattails of Rihanna. She's the one who's internationally known. She's definitely the breadwinner. To me, it's a train wreck waiting to happen. You know, and women, I have to say it as loud as I possibly can say it. When you are, again, considering having a child with a man, you have to consider the fact that if that man is not a part of your life, especially if he's not your husband, you guys are not in a committed relationship, that you're in a position to take care of that child. You know, because that's 9 times out of 10, when one of the parents walks away and there's a child involved, the child gets left to the mother. You know, there are single fathers out there, there are widowed gentlemen and things like that. But the mother is the one that has the societal expectation of taking on the child when the father is not there. You know, so to me, this is a relationship with poverty. You are a celebrity, a billionaire, you know, a business owner, you're well known, and this is the guy that you choose to have a child with. He hasn't even valued you to the point that he wants to marry you. He wants to make you a high profile baby mama. Hell no. You know? And it just goes to her mindset. You know, it just goes to her mindset and so many other Black women, unfortunately. You know, this is not acceptable. And I would say that if you're dating a man and he thinks that you making a commitment to him, or you requiring an escalation of the relationship before you give children, if he thinks that there's something wrong with that, the man does not have long-term aspirations for you in the first place. He doesn't have a future vision of you, because there's nothing wrong with that expectation. And that's what's wrong with a lot of Western societies, is that, you know, we accept nonsense and we want to try to transform nonsense into something else. You start a relationship with someone, you have a child with someone, nothing has been established. Now the child is there. You start trying to impose responsibility on that partner. Okay, so now the baby has come, or now you find out you're pregnant or whatever, and you start trying to make this man rise to the occasion when the man has already demonstrated he's not interested in you like that. You know, so to me, it is so embarrassing what Rihanna is doing. it's a disaster waiting to happen. She has just become a high profile baby mom, you know, and every woman um definitely wants, you know, most women, I'll say not all women, but most women want to have a family. They want to have children. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that's understandable, but you still have to put some things into place. You know, so big shout outs. What's up, Saudi Bad? I see Sweet Bad there. Sorry. The Saudi man was a bad idea. See what happened to Janet Jackson. But see, Rihanna's all over the place. You know, Rihanna's all over the place. The truth is her true love was Chris Brown. Okay. She was in love with Chris Brown. Chris Brown was in love with her. You know, they had their domestic abuse thing, but neither one of them have really gotten over each other. They keep gravitating back to each other. And Rihanna is just dating all these different people trying to fill the void. And she's just chosen the worst possible person, you know? And I mean, ladies know this, especially women that have things to offer. You know an opportunist man when you see one. You know, he usually is not on your level. He usually rides your coattails. And definitely if you're in the public eye and you get with a man that doesn't, you know, kind of have his own thing going. I mean, who is this guy? Who is he? How many? Matter of fact, if you are in the chat room right now, has anybody heard this man's music? Does anybody even know his music? Okay, you can probably go to Japan right now, and people that don't speak English, you can say Rihanna, and they will Google her, and they know exactly who she is. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? It's a textbook situation of a baby daddy thing. That's what it is. That's what it is. And I mean, let's be real. I do have some men in the room as well. Big shout out to the Afrikansuperstar family. If you were a man and you were dating Rihanna, who wouldn't want to marry her? Even if you were an opportunist, who wouldn't say, okay, you know what? And even the babies come along, maybe the pregnancy was unplanned, you guys are just hooking up, whatever. At that point, why can't you make her an honest woman and say, you know what? Look, we're going to have a child. Let's make a family. You know what I'm saying? Let's just go ahead and settle down. I love you. You're the love of my life. You know, we're going to be together. Why? Why would you make that woman a baby mama? This thing is Black women's relationship with poverty, but it's also the devaluation of the Black woman from the Black man. Because apart from Rihanna being a celebrity, the girl is beautiful. She's like supermodel beautiful. So I don't know what more a man could want. And if she's not good enough to marry, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know what else a man could really want. I mean, I just don't know, you know? The guy is not, I mean, it's not like he's poor, but he's definitely not her level. Okay. Now she has dated other high profile people, and like everybody just mentioned, yeah, Drake unfollowed. Drake has a lot of love for Rihanna. That was also obvious. Now, if Drake and Rihanna got together, that's a power team, because Drake is equal or greater than, you know, popular and rich as she is. You know, she can actually look at that man and think he's not coming to this relationship because he needs me to boost his fame. He's not in this relationship because he needs my money. He has his own footing. So the fact that Drake was choosing Rihanna has to deal with the fact that he has strong feelings for her. The fact that he unfollowed them both shows that he still has feelings for her. He don't want to see that stuff on his timeline. Neither do I. Well, we'll see what happens. He's still just, I mean, he's just so dusty, in my opinion. Tuco Pamajoa says his music is I personally never heard any of his music at all. You know, I would say I wouldn't even know who he was if he wasn't dating Rihanna. And Aphrodisiac Villas and Spa says that ASAP Rocky's network is Riri's expense. He's definitely getting much more publicity because of his relationship with her. Now, true enough, neither one of us are in their, relationship. None of us are in their home. We're just on the outside looking in. But guess what? This is Unpopular Opinions Live. Okay. I think it speaks volumes, and even if they are secretly married, I mean, what's the secret? You came out with your baby bump. You didn't keep that a secret. You know what I'm saying? And there was rumors a few months ago that she was pregnant anyway. But I think this baby bump thing just confirmed it. But that's my thing. See, that's what I'm talking about, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Black women's relationship with poverty. No expectations. You know what I mean? Just taking anybody, taking whatever, being mistreated, all of that. It's just ridiculous. But this is a great point. Aphrodisiac Villas and Spa said, even Kim and Beyonce got a ring. Why not Riri? Period. Was Jay-Z going to make Beyonce a baby mama? Was it? Was her family going to take that? Matter of fact, her daddy didn't even like Jay-Z. Her family didn't even like Jay-Z. So Jay-Z knew that he was going to have to step up and do something, to make it legit. And certainly Kim Kardashian was not going to be having no kids outside of wedlock. She done been with every man in Hollywood, and she'd been married multiple times, but she will be damned if she's a baby mama. But Rihanna's okay with it. What's up, Zoo and Shayna? I see you there. Big shout outs. Tuco Pumajoa says he's a pauper compared to her. It won't last long. She's going to be a baby mama. As it stands, the truth is, listen, the truth is, and you may not like it, you're not somebody's wife. You're his baby mama. You have kids for a man that you're not married to. He's not legally responsible for you or anything. You know what I mean? And like I said, if you have to promote that man to be a part of your life or your children's lives or be responsible, he never had an intention of doing it. Because a responsible man understands, hey, I've made a child. Okay. I have an obligation to that child. That's why it takes a mother and father to make a child, despite all this manipulation through science and stuff like that. The traditional way of creating a child is a man and a woman coming together and reproducing. Okay. That means it takes two. Whenever two are not involved, it's a very complicated and difficult situation. We like to try to circumvent nature, but it is what it is. Honestly, guys, it's 2022. How many times do we need to witness this to happen to be able to forecast the outcome? This is why, people ask me, I made several videos on the channel that discuss it, but people ask me, well, Gina, you're getting older. Why don't you have kids? Why don't you just do this? Because I'm conscious in my choices, okay? I'm not going to be in these crazy situations. I'm not going to be Rihanna. I'm not a billionaire, but I'm not going to be Rihanna. And if you're, like I said, if you're dealing with a man and the man he has no intention of taking a relationship far with you, why would you have kids by him? The man is essentially saying, hey, you know what? You're not worth it. I don't think that you're worth it enough to make it official. When you get into a marital situation or you get into a committed relationship, it requires a lot. So I don't really feel like it's unusual, or that it's a unrealistic expectation to say, hey, you know what? Marry me. Let's have a family. Let's live in the same house. Let's raise our kid. Let's do it together. Let's be a family. What is so crazy about, especially if I was a celebrity? Like, you're in the public eye, so now you're embarrassing yourself. The ghetto people think it's happy. They're excited for them and everything. But the intellectual people are like, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? What's up? I see the family. If you're here, leave me a message in the chat. I'm going through your chat messages now. Azama says, that is so sad. I don't pay attention to celebrity news, but wow, sometimes women like her are really lonely and want a baby for the love of another. That's true. That's true. But to be honest with you, I mean, you have to function with logic though. You know, you can't let your emotions rule and dictate your life. And again, I mean, I'm saying if the dude really want to be with her, because he claims in the tabloids, he claims that he loves her, she's the love of his life and all that. Why can't they have a family? Why wouldn't the man want to make a family with the woman that he loves and she's the love of his life? Why not? And quite frankly, he's marrying up anyway. Big shout outs to Azama. Big shout outs. What's up, Lonnie Reese? I see you there. Zoo and Shayna says B was not going to have Beyonce will never be a baby mama. Okay. And even when they was having relationship problems a few years ago, y'all probably remember that. Okay. Jay-Z got his mind right. He was going to counseling. He was doing all that stuff because he knew, oh, I got 3 kids by this woman. And, you know, she's going to take me to the cleaners. And it's cheaper to keep her, in other words. But let's be honest. If ASAP Rocky gets tired of Rihanna, he can easily walk away. There's no strings. He's not going to be indebted to her. You know what I'm saying? And these are the reasons why, guys, sometimes you got to think long term. It's not that you want to trap a man to be with you or anything like that, but give him something to consider when he thinks about maybe, okay, you know, he may think, oh, well, I don't know if I want to stay together. Make it to the point where it's like, you know what, I've invested so much with this woman or these kids. I'm going to try to at least work it out. But right now, he can just walk away. He can just block her on Facebook, unfollow her on Instagram, stop answering her text messages, and that be that. Wow. Zoo and Shayna says, at one point, ASAP said Lana Del Rey was his dream girl. So basically, he's just calling at famous women. But Rihanna is the one that's going to allow herself to be the baby mama. What's up, Lady Visionary? I see you there. Sweet Bass says some wealthy women in the West are against being married. I don't know. Rihanna seems like she's kind of an emotional person. You can listen to her music and know that. I don't think that she would object to, you know, him wanting to start a family and be a fan. I don't really think she would probably. She's not one of those women, you know, heavily promotions of women's rights and I'm a strong independent and all that. She doesn't really particularly do that. What's up, family? Tuco Pumajoa says, if I was in his place, I would definitely make her my wife. I would love and appreciate her and my newborn child. I mean, I just don't know how much better a dude like him is going to do. You know what I'm saying? Who could top her in his lifetime in terms of just assets? I mean, if you were an opportunist man, you're getting everything that you want. Usually opportunist men want money. They, you know, if they're dating a celebrity, they want fame. They want a beautiful woman. I mean, you getting all of that. Plus, she's famous. So you even get time to yourself. I'm sure they spend a lot of time apart because, you know, she's got to do this Fenty photo shoot and she's got a music video. And, you know, I'm sure, I mean, so you just get everything in one woman and you're not taking advantage of that. So, big shout out to the family. This is live. So I just wanted to know if any of you guys wanted to call in and talk about these topics. I first talked about the beauty queen that committed suicide last week. A lot of people are thinking that is foul play and stuff like that. But I personally just think that the young lady was troubled. A lot of people in her position are. A lot of leaders are. You know, I think definitely us here on YouTube, other leaders have experienced, you know, times when it's just like you're tired. You know, you're tired of everybody depending on you, and you're tired of having to come back and bounce back, and you're tired and tired and tired. You know, honestly. So anyway, family, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up now. So big shout out to the African Superstar family, okay? So what's up, Mabel? I see you there. Um, until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.